Well, hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the third part of the GooseBike build. And, rather than say anything, I'll just show you what I do. Okay, front brake calipers for the KZ1000 project bike. These look pretty nice. I suspect that they're probably good, but since I'm rebuilding the bike, I'm not going to bother taking any chances. Plus I want to have it all painted and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down. Alright, so now I need to get the piston out of there. I think I'll take this bracket out. So there's a bracket floats on these bolts. So I need to get this bracket out of here. And it doesn't look like it wants to come out with the piston in the way. There we go. Right. Now on the newer style, one side is longer than the other. It looks like the same thing is true, and that's unfortunate because I think I have, this is the left side, and a stock 77, 78 KZ1000 would have had left brake only on the front. But I've got dualies on that thing, and you can see that, I should probably just show it. So this has the wrong brake caliper on it for this year. It has the newer style, which has the air bleed screw here. The air bleed screw is supposed to be at the highest point, and I can tell that. So you can see this fork has the caliper mounting in front of the fork tube. The newer style, including the Z1R, has it like this behind, right? And you can see the highest point is the bleed screw because that's how you have to bleed it. You have to have the highest point there. So somebody put the wrong calipers on this because these are the most common and they're probably, easier to find. And you can tell this is the right side because the fork oil drain is right there. Sometimes people will flip them because they want to have them on the back so that they can use these. You can also use these just fine. I mean, the brakes on this thing work. It's just fine, but when you bleed them, you can just take this bolt off, angle it up so that the air bleed screw is up on top, bleed it, and then put it back. So this one would be on the right side because of the bracket that it had. And I was hoping that these brackets were reversible. I think only the LTD 77 would have had a right side because it had duals. I'll have to check that. So I have another left side and another left side. So unless I get lucky and one of these has a right side bracket in it, looks like I'm screwed. But looking at the brake, I wonder, it'd be interesting to see whether the caliper is the same size. I guess it is. Whether the piston's the same size. That's what does all the stopping. This is from the newer style. Alright, well, let's see what I find. So I need to pump this piston out of here. I have a cheapo master cylinder. I hooked it up. I need to bleed it, and then it should push. It should be able to pump it out with this. So I'm just pushing and then letting the air release. Just doing it with my thumb. Go. It's firming up. I think it's pushing on the piston right now. So I'll tighten this air is bleeded back up, and looks like it's already come out a bit. Okay, here we go. Did it come up? Is it moving? There we go. Yeah, this one's in good shape. I don't think there's probably nothing wrong with this. I could have just sanded it and sprayed it. At least I don't need a new piston. Okay. Should be almost out of there. Need some more fluid. Yep, there it is. So compare the old and the new. Well, by like 1 year, right? This is the older style, 77, early 78. I'd have to check there. I'm not an encyclopedia, but there was quite a variation in the brakes on the KZ1000, 1000s. But in any case, so this is the older style. This is the newer style. It's funny, the piston on the newer style is actually a little smaller. Interesting. Okay, well there's that. So I'll take apart these other ones I have and I'll pick which ones are the best. You may say to yourself, why are there 4 brackets and not 2? Because there's only there's one per brake caliper. And that's because I'm happy to be doing 4 of them. 2 of them are going to be for this bike. I'm trying to put this fender eliminator kit together, and of course there's no instructions at all. Strangely enough, I have another KZ1000 that has one of these kits in it, but it's out in my shed. I don't feel like going out there. That piece definitely goes there. These 4 holes line up, and these 2 holes line up. So this plate goes there, and then this has to go in here because it lines up with these 4 holes. So that's where your license plate goes. So then it's all about getting the tail light. Now these are the brackets that we made when we fabricated stuff. They go like that, keep it really high up in that tail. So I suspect there's some combination. Like I think this little wedge, I think these probably go on like this for some reason. How does that look? Oh, okay, that might go there. But then what do you attach it to? What do you attach this to? Right, if it goes on like that, maybe these go on somehow? I don't know. I gotta fiddle with it. So, this fender eliminator kit, this is how it would look on the stock bike. It's actually a pretty nice look. This is the stock tail, and you get rid of that big chrome fender. So I could show on this one how it looks with the fender. That's how that looks. You got the chrome fender, and you got the tail light is held by that bracket, and the license plate is held by that bracket as well. So if you get rid of the fender, you get rid of that bracket, you have nowhere to mount the tail light and the license plate. So with this, they mount this extension, and you can adjust it in or out a little bit, and license plate holder is right onto the tail light, and the tail light has this little clear section to illuminate the license. This is the fender part. It keeps the mud or whatever from flapping up. And this, I don't know if this really belongs here, but this is about the only place it seemed to go. Some kind of stabilizer, but I don't see what purpose it serves. I'm not sure if that's the right location for that. The holes kind of line up. I don't think they lined up with that or that. So in any case, for this tailpiece, obviously that ain't gonna work, right? So I can use the fender part of it, but this extension that holds this on is no good. I'll use those risers that I have. So that's that. Okay, I've been fiddling with the tail for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I've got it pretty good. Got an extra hole, did some trimming down the bottom here, re-drilled the holes in the bracket, and re-drilled the holes in this bracket, set the whole thing a little bit lower, And I was able to even it out. It was all cocked up like this, so I think that's good. I can cross that off my list. Where's that list? Fixed tail alignment. Tail light license plate. I have to drill it, but I'm just going to go ahead and cross that off. Adjust seat pan. Already did that. Seat pan is out. Getting a new seat made for it. Trim fairing. Mount dash. Blue lights. Try to fix the windscreen. I got to see if this fits. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know about this chain guard. I don't even know if it's for this bike. Maybe it's for a 650. Or maybe it's for the police bike. This notch is supposed to line up with the shock, and it doesn't really do that. And it kind of goes back too far, and these holes don't line up. And the whole thing, like that's supposed to go further up. It certainly looks nicer than black, and the bike should have a chrome one, but I don't think it's going to be this one, so I'll have to go hunt for another one. Okay, so the next challenge is to try and do something about the windshield orientation. You can see it looks fairly, I don't even know if it looks normal like that. Actually, it's far away. And if you snug these up, it's going to go like that. But it kind of, the windshield is kind of bowed up at the top here. And when you look at it, I think that this side is a little higher than this side. I think when we were attaching the windshield, I was kind of pulling down on this a little bit, and that would take this big bend out of it. But if I do that, I have to, depending on how much you have to pull it down, I'd have to cut the windshield, and that's not going to be fun. I probably will just ruin it. You can see it's not really attached super well. So I think what I'm going to do is take the windshield off and try to put a level between those points. You can't really use a level because, you know, we just drilled these off the seat of our pants, as you can see. So I'm not sure what to do. This definitely sticks out more than this one. This one is lower than this one, so I'm not sure. I need to take a look at what's going on inside here anyway, because the dashboard, which I think is supposed to fit in there, does not fit in there. And I was told I could trim it on that black line there. Yeah, or another thing I could, you know, if I want to kind of have it come all the way up, you know, there's like a big gap there, so that doesn't look very good. But I could always put some rubber foam in front of there or something just to take up the space. I do think I'm going to want this dashboard because the CB or imitation CB that the movie bike has is going to go on there. So I think I'll take the windshield off. Oh yeah, you can really see it here. It looks terrible. I don't know if you can see it in the light. Ugh. It looks mushed. Ugh. Yeah, so I took these two bolts out. That one's going to broken off tap in it. It has to be fixed. And you can see it just naturally pop right down. And now it looks fine. Yeah. Now it looks fine. Now if it was just maybe like that, that would be okay. So that's a good 3/4 of an inch. Yeah. That's an inch. How did we get it so far off? Well, how about if we bring it out? If we brought it out, if we bring it out, it comes up naturally. So if I brought this out and I brought this out, how would that work? Well, I'm going to have to mess with that. I've got a fitment here that looks pretty good. What I did was I took that dashboard thing, dash pad, and cut these slits, and then wedged it between the fairing and the mount bolts, not bolts, flanges, and put the windshield on the two farthermost holes that were drilled. So the windshield and the fairing are lined up. But as you can see, the support bracket is not lined up anymore. And I'm not sure what to do about that because that bolt and this bolt will not be lined up. This one might be alright. I put the speedometer on it, the gauges, to get a kind of sense of of the alignment. I think I have the bars straight. This fabrication crap, I don't know. I like to just bolt stuff together. This isn't my thing. So, I think that looks pretty good, actually. So if I fix this, how do I fix this? Can I cut this piece of square tubing and kind of bend the whole thing up? Would that bring that dot into alignment? That dot, that hole? And the same thing over here? And I'd have to I don't think that's going to fix that one. I might have to cut a little bit of this off. I can bring it up, that will help. This is like got pretty good tension on it, and I'm a little worried if I cut this tubing, it'll push the whole thing over too much. I'll have to do something. Not sure where I left off, but I took the windshield off and cut some holes, some slots in this dash pad, and then inserted the dash pad between the metal flanges where the screws go in and the fairing. And that seemed to widen out the fairing a little bit, and in the two holes that had existed in the fairing, the windshield was sitting properly. I had to bend up these metal flanges. There's like a piece of square tubing, and then there's this matte flat stock that's welded on top of the square tubing. And I slit right here and right here so that I could bend it up, because it was way too far down. It was way down around here. And I ended up having to drill and tap just about every hole. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Probably 5 out of 8. And this one misses its tab in the back. It's on top. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do about that. I'll probably have to put a nut in there somehow. You can reach up in there. But with some spacing, a piece of wood there, a little piece of wood here. Now I'm going to try to fit the windshield again. Well, I think I got it. can see. Let's take a look at it. Again, I don't know if you can see, it with the lighting, but it looks pretty good. It's, you know, it was all kinked up here. I'll have to find something to use as shims. So I've got it shimmed way out here and out here a little bit, and that seemed to do the trick. Now it's coming off that way. That looks kind of like the way it should be. And then this one kind of goes in. If I take this out and I push it in, that might be all right. But I think that's pretty good. At least know that there's some combination of mucking with it that will get it to be pretty good. I have to find a solution for that, but I think for now I'm going to call that good enough and move on my list. Mount dash, did that. Mount blue lights, so blue lights, and then there's a siren. So there's a mirror that goes on this side, and then there's a siren that goes here, and then there's blue lights that go at the top. I should get like a good photo. So I have this, but it looks like it's dented right there. Doesn't it look dented? I think that took a dent somewhere along the line. That's the mirror. Is it adjustable? Yeah, looks like it's supposed to move. Looks like it does move. The surface is getting beat up. Hopefully this comes right apart, so I'll probably blast this stuff before I bring it to the painter. I got this stuff from the guy who's painting it. Here's this little tiny antenna. Don't know if I'm going to use that or not. This is the siren guts. This is broken. That looks like it was on the back of the siren. Yeah, so this is a broken one. I ordered 2 other sirens. I ordered one, it never showed up. Got a refund for that. And these are the blue lights. Like on the movie Bike. So where would that go? I'll have to look it up. I think it goes like that. Plenty of space if I put them right there. Looks like it'll need a ground. A whole bunch of stuff that will need a ground. So that'll be one. I'll have to go look up how that mounts. Made in Japan. So I could theoretically mount the mirror. I might leave the mirror off, but I think I'll mount these. Alright, so I got the little blue lights on. What's next? Mount blue lights, dash. I think I just about all the trimming on the fairing. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if I showed it, but I made some little brackets. These are not the right screws, but so that this piece here can be cut out to make it easier to take the fairing on and off and work with the fairing. Trying to work with the whole lower section as one piece is pretty tough. So I have to make a cut there and there, right along that line there. you can see from the corner. And then what else? There's a little more trimming. A little piece off here. A little piece off of here. Got an extra bolt, the hole there. I don't need that. Let me bring this in. If I bring it in, I have to drill new holes in it. That's as far as it'll go. So I think the license plate, I can put it up here and mount it on the lower holes, but usually they're always mounted on the upper holes. And I think if I just bring this in 2 inches, it'll look pretty good. So maybe I'll futz with that now. Well, I think I have a chain guard solution for the GooseBike. Found this one online. It looks pretty good. I think it's brand new. It's probably brand new, old stock. Just a generic chrome chain guard. Fits a ton of different bikes, including KZ1000. If rear bracket of stock guard is in back of the shock, use bent bracket to reach around behind the shock. Okay, well, I'll fiddle with that and see if I can get that to fit. Well, after some finagling, I think I got it about right. Might need to move back a little bit. Yeah, probably have to move back a little bit, but I can fool with that later. I had to drill new holes. Here's the original hole. Isn't really made for it. It's generic. It's better than this, but if you can see this one, there are like these offsets where they attach here and here. So it attaches on the outside of this. So this tab would be inside, and that tab would be inside, right? So it's got like this offset to it. But yeah, the movie bike had something like this on there. Should be good enough. Okay, I gotta put the rear calipers back together. The front calipers, dumbass. These are the brackets. So the front calipers for the early style, take this metal rod as the input, and the bleeder is like this, and it's mounted straight up. These are reversible for each side. There's not a left and a right, but there is a left and a right when it comes to the brackets. So let's see. We'll start with one of them. I guess it doesn't matter. I have in my notes that the long side goes towards the non-piston side, so it's like that. And they float on their bolts. So there are O-rings that go in each side of this. There's a little detent or whatever that an O-ring slips into on each side of this to keep in, presumably, grease. So here's our kit. Okay. And it should have everything we need. This is for 2 front calipers. So it's got 2 dust boots, 2 seals, the pistons. 234, put those to the side. Okay, bleeders, bleeder caps, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Get some grease on them. So I'll just show one of them. This is tedious. Okay, well that was one. Do. Okay, well, that's one side. Bring it back. Okay, now I'm going to put these dust boots on. Really nice complete kit, brake crafters. Alright, so now we'll put some grease in here. It's probably way too much. The other dust caps on. Okay, put these to the side. Put the bracket to the side. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to put the seal in. Special grease. Why is it special? I have no idea. Maybe it breaks down in brake fluid. Alright, I got that seated. Put some of the stuff on the piston. Alright, well I think that's all the way down. Alright, well let's hope that worked. Now this dust boot is gonna fight me. It goes like this. Okay. Top part is seated. And it's not on whatsoever, so I gotta play with this. I got the dust seal on. It took about at least 15 minutes of monkeying with it. So there's short end and a long end. The long end goes towards the non-piston side. These ones mount in front of the forks, so that the forks will come on like this, sit like this, like that. So I gotta gingerly put that in there. Gingerly rubbing. Alright, one of the dust boots just pulled totally off. Let's take it apart again. Alright. Okay. One pad in, the other pad goes in with one of these suckers. Seems like it goes like that. Well, let's go check one. Alright, this is the correct orientation. Okay, that's alright. Should be it. There we go. There you go. Uh-oh. Alright, that's it. Alright, so there's one. And I'll do the other one off camera. Somebody made a home there. Yeah, so I'm stripping down the GooseBike. Looks a lot like the Z1R. It's all these little fabrications. So I'm going to strip it all down. The wheels have to be painted silver instead of black, so I think... Oh man, is that bent? Damn it, I just can't win. It looks bent. Ugh. God damn it. Anyway, I got to strip the wheels down. I have to strip everything down. Any repairs I have to make have to be made now. Any kind of cleanup, like this splatter right here, that needs to be, if it's going to come off, it has to come off now. So I need to go through it and knock down some of these welds. Splatter, although that's been there a long time. And all these fabricated mounts for the fairing. Clean those up. Well, that looks nice, huh? So I got the welder out in case I need to weld anything. And then there's like the front subframe for the top fairing. Have to go through all that. Quite a bit of work stripping it all down. So in any case, what I'll end up with is a whole bunch of stuff that needs to go to get blasted and powder coated. So I want the guy to blast the wheels so I don't have to do it in the vapor blaster, because that was a pain in the ass. It'd just be easier. Taking the swing arm apart, I gotta take these bushings out. Those are a pain in the ass. Yeah, so sure enough, it's bent. Front tire's bent. Front wheel. Boom, boom, boom. See it? Right there. Alright, so I have the forks for the GooseBike and cover. So the stuff on the Z1R that was kind of took a long time to polish are the fork lowers, these pieces here, and the side cover. Everything else on the engine, I got new covers that were already polished. Now for the GooseBike, I have the same exact thing. Boy, this is a mess. I guess I better clean that up. So I have to take this apart and get it ready. And so I found a guy, hello. I found a guy, Harry in the UK, who does unbelievable polishing, and he said if I send it to him, he will do it. And I have another KZ1000 it's all taken apart upstairs. That will be like 2 years from now. And I have the fork lowers and the side cover, the sprocket cover for that one. So I'm going to send him all of it and see if he'll just polish all of it. And he does like an amazing job. So we'll see how it comes out. But for now, I have to break down these and get them all kind of cleaned up, and so I can box them up and send them over to the UK. See if I can get this little screw out here. Ah, okay. Not a lot in there. Break. Yes, just broke. Great, okay. Alright, so I gotta take this cap off. Right, you've seen me do this a million times, but I'll do one of them on camera. So I gotta take that cap off. Work. This. Huh, so this one has some kind of spacer in it. Thing goes on top.
Yeah, that bolt there.
Alright, so this thing, there's the, like a plunger in there for the dampener I think it's called. This goes in the center of the dampener, or it's supposed to anyway. I don't feel it going into the center of the dampener. I don't know why this one is different than any other one, but it doesn't seem to have a hole in it. I wonder if these have been modified somehow. Like what is this doing in there? I've never seen this. Maybe these ones don't dampen. Maybe there's some kind of drag race thing. Just something to annoy me. Nope, of course that's not going to move. Okay, that came out. Okay. That belongs there. So this reservoir looks, this dampener looks quite a bit different than anything else I've seen. Yeah, this looks like some kind of funny aftermarket thing. See, normally this would be open, and you stick the end of this tool in here. See, the regular dampener is like right here. It would end here. This has got some thingamajig on it. I'll have to take a look on Partzilla, see if this is normal, or maybe look in my book. I don't know what these are. It's got a C-clip on it, so maybe you can take it off. Okay. Mystery, but anyway, I don't need to mess around with that at the moment. All I need to do is get this fork lower packaged up. So, and I just poured oil all over the place because I'm a fucking moron. Act like I've never done this before. Alright, so there's this little retaining ring in here, right there. Take that out. And then there's a spacer here that sits on top of the fork seal, and then there's the fork seal. Okay. Try to get the fork seal out without ruining the fork lower. It's super slippery, so I'm going to go bring it over the vise. Come on. Can never have a bench that doesn't have 5 million things on it. Fucking break. now I gotta clean this up so I can send it off. Alright, well I have all the GooseBike frame parts here, and I need to go through and grind welds. So for instance, you can see this weld here. It's got a piece of wire hanging off it. It's got a little blob there. It's got like a blob there. So I need to go through these parts and kind of clean up the welds. And then all this stuff is going to go get sandblasted and powder coated. So I think the first thing I'll start with is the frame, then the swing arm, and then this probably has the most welds on it. This is the frame for the upper fairing. Yep, a lot of work to do there. And so I think I'll just do a time lapse. All right, so there's one of the pieces I ground through the weld, and there's like a hole. You see it there? And I think there's a hole on the other side, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to re-weld this. Okay. All right. Going to pick up the GooseBike frame stuff from the sandblaster powder coater guy. Got some bins, got some moving blankets. Hopefully it'll be all right in the back of my truck. All in. What's they in? I don't know where we are. Well, here's the GooseBike back from blasting powder coat. I'll paint the wheels myself. It's just an example. This thing was trashed. It's great. Got the subframe. Here's the neck. all beat on, rusty. Oh, it looks good. All right. All right, so I'll go up. Get into the wheels first. Good. Good job. Yep, good.
Trying to make sure I can maintain the 3 points again.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Grab it by that piece of the back there. Yep. It's actually not too bad. Trying to do this by myself sucks.
You want me to go up or?
Good, turn it. Go slow. Alright, let go. Anything else?
Nope.
Well, I've got the paint set for the GooseBike back. On one hand, it looks great. On the other hand, there's a lot of trash in the clear coat. I think. Oh, yeah, that's trash. So I would think that it would need to be sanded out. Ding right there. Side covers look good. Kinda. It'll look amazing out in the light, I think. That's gonna look nice. Well, okay, so that was part 3. A little more fairing adjustment work, tailpiece, brake work, and then I strip it all down and bring it to the powder coater, and it all came back. I didn't mention I had one screw up, which was The swing arm that was on the bike was cracked around the pivot point, and so I had to go get another one, and I found another one. Actually, the guy that sold me the bike had one. He has tons of parts for KZ900s and 1000s, so he gave me a cheap deal. The bent wheel, I don't think I mentioned it, the same guy also, he gave me another wheel. Those are pretty common, so it was like 50 bucks for the wheel, 50 bucks for a swing arm. Paid 2,500 bucks for that bike with no engine in it. Probably could have gotten it for free if I wanted to press the point, but the guy's a great resource for parts and a nice guy also. So 50 bucks is 50 bucks, no problem. So yeah, so I brought that swing arm in to get powder coated also, with as well as a couple other parts. So, and then I put it all away because I'm going to leave it alone for now. The fork lowers, I think I did mention, yeah, fork lowers and the clutch sprocket cover, not clutch cover, sprocket cover. So 2 sets of fork lowers, two sprocket covers I sent over to the UK to get polished. Those have been on their way back for like 3 weeks. There was some kind of screw up with the shipping. So hopefully they will show up. Then for the SL125, I sent that fork lower, that bike's fork lowers, and some of the engine cases to the same guy to polish. So it'll be a while before those come back. But anyway, so the GooseBike is going to go on hold for a couple months, and the SL125 is going to go on hold for a couple months while I try to get rid of, as I mentioned in the other video, I'm going to do another round of restoration on the XL600 and a CB550 and a KZ1000, which you haven't, well, I did show it, yeah, it's out in the shed. And plus I got to get the Z1R out. Today is a decent day to get the Z1R out, but I have a whole ton of other stuff I want to get done. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but it is finally a nice day. It's like 60 degrees. It was beautiful blue sky, but of course I walked outside, so now it's clouded over. So as soon as I go back inside, the clouds will go away till I come out again. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.